to those poor unfortunate souls.
Hello and Merry Christmas. Welcome to Poor Unfortunate Podcast. I'm Connor Perkins.
And I'm Caroline Ameti.
And this is our special Christmas bonus episode for you. So while you all are getting ready for the holidays, making Christmas cookies or something like that, not celebrating for the holidays, wrapping presents, doing whatever you're doing, this is our little way to stay in your ears and keep you company. So
what's one thing that you always do on Christmas Eve? Like, what are you doing right now as people are listening to this? Is there something you always do?
Usually I like to wrap presents on Christmas Eve. Like,
okay.
I wrap some presents on Christmas Eve. I mean, we always go to church on Christmas Eve. But honestly, one of the things that has recently become a tradition for me on Christmas Eve is that I usually end up watching The Polar Express as I fall asleep.
Oh, I like that.
That's my favorite Christmas movie. Fight me, I don't care. What about you? What's your Christmas Eve tradition?
Well, I celebrate my day of birth.
That's right.
It's my birthday.
In addition to it being Christmas Eve,
it's my birthday.
This is Caroline's birthday. Happy birthday, Caroline.
Thank you. I really love my birthday.
It's such a special birthday. And honestly, I know that you have mixed feelings sometimes about your name, but I love your name and I love how it's related to Christmas and your birthday. I just feel like it's just such a quality package.
Yeah, it's definitely grown on me over time. But yeah, Christmas Eve, I'm Italian, so not this year, of course, but other years, the Italian side of the family comes over. We do the Feast of the Seven Fishes, lobster, shrimp, clams, you name it, squid. We have that. We sing happy birthday to me. I cry because I always cry on my birthday. Not really sure. Does anybody else do that? Please advise. And then we go to midnight mass.
So before we get started with the actual content of the bonus episode, I just want to ask you, Caroline, besides your Christmas Eve tradition, is there like a Christmas memory that you have that's like really memorable?
Sorry, I'm going to make you say it again. I thought you legit sounded like you were going to propose to me. Stop. Stop doing that.
No, is there...
You're like, I would ask you, Caroline. I'm like, what's happening?
Oh my God. No, is there a Christmas memory that you have aside from your Christmas Eve tradition that you do of, celebrating your birthday?
Let me think. Oh, yeah. I have a funny story. Yeah, I have a good story.
Okay, what is it?
Oh, God, this is a good one. I don't think I've ever told you this. So my church every year would put on, the story of Christmas, like the nativity story. And the young kids in the parish would be the angels and, the side parts. Sometimes they would be animals, things like that. And so the first year that I did it, I was, right on the age gap between the older kids who played the main characters and the young kids. I was still in the young kids group. And I was like, no freaking way. I'm not playing it I'm not speaking. So I put myself into the older kids group and it was pull your name out of a hat. And I got pulled to play Mary. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And the other kids, the girl who was playing Gabriel found out that I was too young and tried to get me kicked out of the play.
Fucking Gabriel.
Gabriel tried to stab me in the back. But at that point, we'd already started rehearsing. And the person who was in charge was like, no, we're not kicking her out.
Yo. I love that. And you have to have a scene with Gabriel, probably.
Oh, the biggest.
Because you're like.
Yeah, no, whatever version this was, Mary's biggest scene was the one where the angel comes and is like, you're going to have a baby. So
and you're probably just sitting there just like, tell me, bitch. Tell me, bitch.
All I remember is the years afterwards when I would see her at church, I'd always be like, oh crap, I gotta run away.
Oh my God, I love that so much. We had at my first church like a nativity thing, and I desperately wanted to be a shepherd. I have no idea fucking why, but I'm like, I want to be a shepherd so bad. And I think it was too little to be a shepherd. So I had to convince my dad, who was organizing it, to make an exception. I'd be like, and I was like, I'm gonna be, let me be a little shepherd. Like, let me be like the baby brother shepherd. Like, I don't fucking care. And he was like, okay. And I was so happy. And then when I was in like Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, we made a float for like Christmas parades in Baltimore, and we would take the float around and we would do these parades.
Oh,
and it was
my
always
God.
like a living nativity. And I got
You were
to
the
be
little
one of
shepherd?
the kings. No, I got to be one of the
you got to-
kings.
oh my God.
Oh yeah.
What an upgrade.
I was Gaspar, and oh my God, I was the best.
Oh
I
my
had this
God.
awesome, oh God, it was so cool.
Wow. I mean, but look at us. We were always just reaching above our stations. We always wanted more.
Oh my God, wow. Wow. We're the same.
Yep.
All right, so for our Christmas bonus episode, we're not doing anything from our usual rotation. We're going the same route like we did with our Halloween bonus episode. So for this episode, Caroline, do you want to say what it is?
Yes. We have each assembled our own little Disney Christmas wish list for, Mickey Santa when he asks us what we want for Christmas. And we each have 6 items on our list, to make 12 days of Christmas. Go with us on this one.
Yeah. I mean, we were thinking about trying to like base it off of the 12 days of Christmas.
We tried.
Wait, I don't want to choose that many Disney birds. Like there's just too many birds.
Oh my God, Lord's a leaping. It would have been a lot.
And I'm like, I don't know if I went like 12 of anything. Like besides like 12 tickets to Disney. I don't know. Which that's kind of dumb. I'm like, there are other things that I need from Disney before I get 12 tickets to Disney.
Yes.
Although now that I think about it, I would take 12 tickets to
maybe
Disney.
not that many. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Hold on.
Maybe that's part of the list. Whatever. But like the 12 days of Christmas, there are 12 days between Christmas Day and the Feast of Epiphany on January 6th. So it's actually not the 12 days leading up to Christmas. It's the 12 days starting on Christmas Day. So it carries you out through the whole Christmas season. So you can listen to this episode every day for
just listen to like a minute
Christmas.
a day.
Exactly. All right. So who wants to get started? What's the first Christmas?
We're gonna do it like complete list, or do we want to go back and forth? I guess it would make.
We should go back and forth.
Yeah, I want to.
Fun.
I know it doesn't make as much sense, but I want to go back and forth.
Yeah, we're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna go back and forth. Back and forth.
Okay.
Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start. My things on my Christmas wish list from Disney range mostly between Disney parks and Disney films, but there's like some other things in there too.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with something Disney parks. So my first Christmas wish list item is a new ride. Honestly, this is a ride that I didn't really think I would want or need, but I follow an account called Imagineering Disney on Twitter. They run a blog, and it's a blog of artists, designers, writers, and entertainers who love Disney parks, who have worked for Disney parks. And they have been creating a model from the ground up, a digital model of a hypothetical ride inspired by The Sword in the Stone. And it is stunning. It is a boat dark ride. It is fun. I think this movie needs a lot more representation, or really any representation, because, we used to have the Merlin Sword in the Stone pull it out, but I think they ended that.
They did.
We have Arthur and Merlin in the parade in California, but that's it.
That's it.
And it's such a great movie. So when I saw this on their Twitter feed, I was like, this is awesome. Everybody's got to go check it out. Again, it's Imagineering Disney. They have images of it, and it's so cool to just see the process of building a model from like bare bones, like track, and then white model, and then starting to add color and like perspective, and it's so cool. But honestly, as soon as I saw it, I was like shit. I'm like, we need this. I'm like, I didn't know I wanted this, but I want this. So that's number 1 on my wish list.
Oh, I can't wait to look that up.
Yeah. Your turn.
Okay, so my first wish for Disney is that they will make reparations for closing Frozen. And here's how I would like them to do that. Number 1, I need the upcoming Aida quote-unquote revival tour that is supposed to be happening. right now it is only scheduled to be a tour, not a Broadway run. I need Disney to back it with money, with support, with advertising, promos, whatever we need to do. And we need to get it to Broadway. When the tour ends, I need Aida to be moving into its Broadway theater. And additionally, my other request as part of this is within the first 2 seasons, mine are like demands. I just realized these are not like requests.
Yeah, I'm like,
these are demands.
Yep.
Within the first 2 seasons of Broadway returning, I need either Hercules to open on Broadway or I need Hunchback to open on Broadway.
Wow. All right, Santa Mickey. She's going to have you at gunpoint when you're at this Christmas tree.
Do it.
Oh my God. Wow.
Listen, I've been good this year. I don't mind being bold. I've been a good girl.
I love it. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my second thing on my list, which is a Disney film sort of thing, like Disney Studios. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I've said this before, but...
Oh, I know what it's going to be. Yes.
I'm going to say it again. I want a live action version of The Rescuers or a Disney Plus series of The Rescuers or a Great Mouse Detective Disney Plus series. I want My Beautiful Mice represented. I think that there's just so much potential with The Rescuers live action Disney film. And honestly, those 2 stories from the animated films, which I think a lot of people sleep on and could use a dose of Disney breathing life back into them and inspiring another generation to see them, which is, I think, what should be the point of doing a live action remake of something is to breathe life into the old and things that are forgotten, as opposed to like, let's just rehash something that's already successful. I'm not about that life. But these 2 stories, in addition to being like largely overlooked, I think lend themselves so great to that sort of like serial way of looking. Like you can just have all these like adventures of Basil or all these adventures of all these adventures of Bianca and Bernard. And I want more Ratigan. Like find a way for Ratigan to live. I think he'll survive, or do a prequel. I don't know. Figure it out. But I want My Beautiful Mice represented in either a live-action Rescuers film or a Disney Plus series of The Rescuers or Great Mouse Detective. Ooh. So I'm giving Santa Mickey some options here.
Yeah, you are. Okay, so the next item on my wish list, it's a little bit more general. So sure, maybe I will give Santa Mickey some options here. What I want is, this is a bit general. I just want many, but let's just start with one. I want a very immersive, high-tech ride or attraction in Walt Disney World.
I knew this was coming from you.
I'm thinking along the lines of The Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my God.
But I want more than that. I think, again, we've said in previous episodes, I've been like, let me like live in an immersive Belle's Village. Let me have to run away from the mob. Give me that. But fine, if I can't have that, I want to have to get on a boat to get to a huge Tiana's Place restaurant. I want to take a tangled boat ride and end up in the village outside of the Castle of Corona. I know it's possible because we're getting the Star Wars hotel and that looks really cool. I would definitely do it. It sounds fun, but that's not 100% my thing. I want some immersive grown-up fairy tale experiences. I want to be surrounded. What we have right now with that's going on in the new Fantasyland area, it's just not enough for me. I need to really walk around a full beast castle.
Yeah, it's in the right direction.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not fully there. And I feel like New Fantasyland walked so that everything that they're doing in Tokyo and Shanghai can run.
Yep.
So the third thing on my wish list, I'm going to jump back to Disney parks. So this is something that Caroline knows that I want to happen, and I have been pretty vocal about it. I want the Tomorrowland Indy Speedway to be re-themed as Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes.
So picture this. You enter the arcade that, all the games are in, and then you go through some sort of process that digitizes you, and you wind up in Game Central Station. And part of the queue will take you through a pre-show, and then you'll go into Sugar Rush, and then you get in the cars and you get to race. And I'm envisioning a track that is both indoor and outdoor, and completely redesigning these ride vehicles so that they look like the race cars from the movie. And we get rid of all of the like gas run cars and just make it all electric.
Please, please.
I think that would just be so cool to do this like awesome way of just like revamping a ride that, you know, isn't even Autopia. Like it's just like a speedway, and it's like
it's an
not
eyesore. It's loud. It's smelly. I don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah. We need to make it electric. We need to make it indoor, outdoor, so you can do some really cool lighting and projection-y things. We can do this whole sort of storyline to it. It fits in perfectly with the vibe of Tomorrowland.
See, that just got me excited to ride that. And I have no interest in it. And now I'm like, oh, that sounds so fun.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer. It feels like a no-brainer.
It is. Oh, I'm so glad you told everybody about that. It's such a good one.
Yeah. Disney, don't take it, but do it, but give me credit for it and money.
Okay, my third item is I want Disney to revamp the Times Square Disney store.
I almost had this on my list. I'm so glad that you put it on yours.
People are going to come for me because, like, you know, as a native New Yorker and like a real life New Yorker, we're supposed to just hate the commercialization of Times Square. It's never going to change. That's what it is.
Nope,
so I'm like, let's just lean into it because this is what it is. I do not think that the Disney store in Times Square is exciting enough or big enough. And ideally, it would be as big as the old Toys R Us, which was gigantic because it housed a literal Ferris wheel. I know that might not be so realistic, but I want to ride.
No, I think it's perfectly realistic. If Disney can't do it, who can? That's what I'm saying. My freaking philosophy.
When I lived in London, I visited Harrods, which is the huge department store there, which is stunning. And Harrods had an entire Disney wing, which was beautiful, with a restaurant inside that was Disney themed where you could eat, you could have tea. So it's completely possible. And so there's no excuse. They're doing it in Harrods, which is not even owned by Disney. So we need something that has, we need a ride. We need a restaurant or some kind of food
finally
service.
Get our theme restaurant idea.
Yes, our
put
theme
that
restaurant.
In the store.
Yes, please. And it would
put
honestly,
La
it would just
Ratatouille
make
in there.
Put La Ratatouille in there. Like, there's just no excuse because it would make them so much money. I mean, I understand that Times Square real estate, I can't even imagine how expensive it is, but you have so many families who are coming in to see the tourist attractions or to see Disney on Broadway. That, a lot of them would be more than happy to take their kids to a Disney restaurant before the show anyway. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. That's such a good point because that is a way of Disney, and I'm not in favor of monopolizing, but they'd basically be monopolizing an entire experience.
And listen, and it wouldn't be, and
people.
I don't feel bad about it because I don't think it would be taking money away from the small businesses like the individually owned restaurants in the area because all of these parents aren't going to those. They're going to Applebee's, they're going to Bubba Gump, they're already going
or
to those.
Hard
so
Rock.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, just bring them to a Disney place. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I like it because it also allows me to cross off one of my extra things.
Great.
Theme restaurants. I can just lump it into your Christmas.
I knew we were going to have overlap. I knew it.
Love it. All right. So my next one, I don't know if you might have this on yours, but since we're on the topic of Times Square, Broadway, Disney on Broadway, all of that sort of stuff, I want Disney to film all of the Disney on Broadway canon, and I want it to be released on Disney Plus. I want to start with all of the shows that have closed and film it like Hamilton, or like find a theater or like take a warehouse or an airline hangar like they do for the NBC shows or something like that, and just make these musicals that we have done. We've got Mary Poppins, we've got Beauty and the Beast, we've got Tarzan, unfortunately, we got Little Mermaid, and film those because as we've seen with Hamilton, it doesn't take away any revenue from those shows. I mean, right now Hamilton obviously isn't making money, but the people who have seen it now filmed this way are even more excited because they're like, I want to see it in person. I want to see it. I want to be there.
Totally.
So if anything, it just helps reach these families and even more so than, advertising them to actually see the show. There are a lot of people who do not have the means of taking their family to New York or to LA or to Chicago to see one of these shows, and or even the money to take their families to tours. And this is a great way to introduce young people, especially, to the theater. Theater isn't as normalized for kids. And I think Disney Plus is a great way to sort of bring it into the norm. And I want there to be special features. I want designers and I want all of them to talk about their process in a way that is accessible to these young people, because I want them to say, I want to be a scenic designer for a Broadway show, in the same way that they might say, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a cop.
Yes, I agree.
People don't know that these pathways exist for them. So that is my Christmas wish.
Yeah. And then if they had filmed Frozen before it closed, we could have gotten an amazing performance like Sierra Renee as Elsa.
Exactly.
Saved for posterity. And now it's just gone, to the wind. And it's just so sad. It's terrible.
Exactly.
I love that. Mine segues perfectly from that one. I love it. I love when that happens. So my fourth wish is that Disney will respect live performers in the parks again. This is a little bit of reparations. Disney, I'm sorry to be dropping the F-bomb in a Christmas episode, but Disney has royally fucked up in regards to actors' equity after everything that has gone down during the pandemic, and they need to fix it. And so here is my suggestion. Number one, we need to put all the union performers back in the shows where they already were to start. And I also want the immersive performers who are walking on Hollywood Boulevard, bring them back. Let's go. Also, I think it's pretty much happened, but Beauty and the Beast in Hollywood Studios needs to close. The time has come. It looks dated. And the only equity performer in that cast was Belle. And I think we need to put in a production, which I'm open to it being many different things, that casts more equity performers, because I also think we need to have more opportunities for people to earn their equity cards. And working at a theme park should be a really good one. And it's not right now.
Especially at a theme park like Disney.
Yeah. And also, yes, this is finally the chance for me to talk about this. I've been wanting to squeeze this into every episode. If you saw the Hunchback of Notre Dame musical that used to be in what was MGM Studios, this was in the 90s. If you can find it on YouTube now, the talent in that production and the production value of the whole thing was absolutely unbelievable.
It was unreal.
I found a tape from when we saw it. The singing voices on these performers were incredible. They were singing live. It was amazing.
The puppetry.
It was so innovative.
They set the puppet houses on fire.
Yeah, on fire. They were real
fire.
flames.
It was insane. It was so good.
Quasimodo would be swinging the F off the ground straight up into the air when he was ringing the bells. It was unreal. We need to bring back that level of theater to the parks, because honestly, not for nothing, everyone is paying plenty to be there. We deserve it. And to that end, this has always been a fantasy of mine. I don't really know what would be put on here. We'll work on that later. I want a full equity house in Disney Springs. We can keep Cirque du Soleil. I love that. Right down at that end, put a theater in there. It makes perfect sense. This is an entertainment center now. Disney Springs is gigantic. Put an equity theater in there. I don't care if for a while you want to run Hamilton. If you can make some kind of agreement, sure, run Hamilton in that theater for years if you want to. We need an equity house in Disney Springs. It makes perfect sense. There's already a great theater community down in Florida, and we need to employ those actors. Let's go.
I love that. Go.
It would be amazing.
Off.
Even if we do only Disney licensed pieces.
Yeah.
Even if we only do that, that's fine. Rotate through all of them. Every 3 years, we've gone through all the Disney on Broadway titles. Great.
Yeah. Or make that your place for your out-of-town tryouts. Try it out in Orlando.
Oh, yes. You just got me so excited when you said that.
Make that your house for your new musical.
That's where Ratatouille the musical could go.
Yeah. Put Ratatouille the musical in there.
Yes. Oh my God, we're so smart.
Call Emily. Get started.
Emily.
Fuck. I love that. Everything that you just said. Especially the Hunchback of Notre Dame show.
I'm so glad we could finally talk about that.
I know. I still have the confetti saved in a scrapbook.
Me and Connor both have confetti saved because they would blast confetti at the end of the show. We both have it saved in a scrapbook. It was that good.
It was great confetti.
Yeah.
It was great confetti.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to I'm gonna hop back to parks because we're kind of like in park land.
Yeah.
I want another pavilion in Epcot.
This was almost one of mine. I'm so glad you said it.
There is room for more pavilions. It doesn't feel like it, but there is. There were more pavilions that were originally imagined for the World Showcase than currently stand. I'm asking for at least one. And honestly, they can pick whichever one they want. These are the ones that I'm thinking. My biggest priority is probably Greece. I think it would look stunning to have like the Acropolis, to make it all like Athens themed.
Yes.
It would tie in great because you can take Hercules properties, which in the same way that I really kind of like Ratatouille being a part of France, it's because the culture is directly linked to the film. Hercules, you have it's a full-on Greek myth, and you have Greek mythology, which is so linked to Greek culture historically that you can bring in there. You can give us a ride, give us a chariot ride, not necessarily through the story of Hercules, but give us a new story, give us a new mythology story that's imagined with those characters, and give us that fucking great Greek food.
Please.
I want Greek food. Please.
I want to eat feta cheese.
I want gyros. I want chicken souvlaki.
I want to eat hummus. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not willing to give me Greece, I will take Spain. I will give us some tapas. I will take Spain. I will also take Russia. Put it next to the France pavilion. 20th Century Fox is now acquired by Disney.
Yeah, baby.
Anastasia's on Disney Plus, as trippy as that is. She's a Disney princess now. Give us the full Anastasia
that would blow
experience.
My mind.
I want an immersive rumor in St. Petersburg. MJ, my friend, I'm looking at you. This is a great suggestion. Let me journey to the past across that bridge from Russia into France.
That would be the best Instagram spot. Oh my goodness.
Like, I want my picture taken there.
Yeah.
I would like that, please. I would like that. I know there are probably people right now.
Flip.
Yeah, who are flipping right now as I'm mentioning that. But if they did it, I will quit whatever job I am doing as an actor to go down there and beg Disney to let me play the old orphanage woman. I will.
You heard it here first.
I will do it. Together in Paris.
Wow, that was so good. Yes, you're hired.
Thank you. So yeah, give me a new pavilion, Santa Mickey. It's time. We want one. I'll take Greece. I'll take Spain. I'll take Russia. I'll take Australia. There's so many. So I'll take Brazil. Like, come on.
My next one is very silly and just a little bit to antagonize people. So let's do it. Ooh. One of them I really mean. One of them I don't really mean.
Ooh.
I would like Santa Mickey to take a magic wand and make two things disappear. And this is what they are. Number one, the M&M store that is currently under construction in Disney Springs, disappear. Please. It hurts my heart. Why is that happening? That's ruining what is going to be my downtown theater area, so it needs to go.
Yeah, put the Equity House on the spot of the M&M store.
Yes. And second, I'm so sorry.
What are you going to do to me?
I need Noelle, the Disney Plus movie.
No!
To disappear.
No! You did this on purpose.
I did. I kind of just did this to antagonize you, but I do mean it.
Santa Mickey, do not listen to her. Don't listen to her on this one.
That movie is no good. No good.
No.
And this is coming from someone who loves Christmas. I'm not a Grinch. I'm not against fluffy Christmas movies. This one is cringy. It's pretty bad.
You didn't watch it.
Me and my family we could barely get through it. It was not good. I'm sorry.
You watched it too grumpy. No,
I'm not. That
movie makes me cry.
I'm sorry. It took everything that was like going right in Elf and just made it go wrong. And I don't know why. I don't know why we needed to do that.
Now you're making me mad.
I'm sorry. I had to have one. This is Poor Unfortunate Podcast. We had to have one of these.
No. Oh my, I cry every single time. Oh my God.
I know people listening are going to disagree.
No, when she's able to communicate with the children in their own languages, with the signing.
Idea.
Oh my God.
No. You're misunderstanding me. That is a great idea as part of the movie. Yeah, I love that. It's so touching.
And it's
it was not well executed. No,
It's executed
it
well.
wasn't. It's bad. It's bad.
I will fight you on this. Okay, friends who are listening, there are a couple of things that Caroline and I like vehemently disagree on. This is one of them.
Yeah, this is
Others
one of them.
include Bernadette Peters versus Catherine Zeta-Jones as Desiree Arnfeld in The Little Night Music. I'm definitely Team Bernadette. She's Team Catherine.
Zeta.
So I'm
Forever.
Team correct. She's Team wrong.
Yeah, sure.
But
then you have to
are
give me this
so
one.
wrong
Then you have
about
to let Noelle disappear. It's your choice.
No, I will never. I will have everything my way. Bitch.
I'm sorry. Listen, my tone of my entire list has been very different from yours. You're good and I'm evil. What are we gonna do?
I'm so disappointed. All right, so this is my final Christmas wish list item.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get cracking on the Kingdom Keepers adapted as a Disney Plus series, and I'm not talking like a regular, like, you know, High School Musical, the series kind of series. I'm talking like blockbuster series. I'm talking like take some Mandalorian season 1 money and like put it in this. Let's do it really well. Big budget. Don't let it all be green screen and CGI. Build some sets. I'll direct it.
Yeah.
Or get some like serious director. Like I'm just spitballing. I like J.J. Abrams a lot because I love how he balances huge epic scale with like a lot of like very, very human emotions. And I'm like, that's what I'm looking for in the Kingdom Keepers, because it is like an epic story. And yes, it's like a young adult novel series, but there's a lot of like really, really like gut things in there that we need to pull out to the surface. Like edgier themes that I think we can bring to the surface in it. And I think I want someone who's not going to play to the kids with this series. I want this to be like the thrill ride that those books are. I think it's like a PG-13 series or something like that. Amp it up, like push it to the edge of like where Pirates of the Caribbean sort of went. Like,
yeah, that zone. That's a good zone.
But I want this to be a series that people will want to watch, even if they are not kids. Like I don't think that the target audience for this is kids. I think it might be families. I'm thinking like His Dark Materials on HBO.
I'd be into that. Yeah.
No, I want something for
us.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's way overdue. They've had something. I've been keeping an eye on all of the greenlit projects that Disney has had, and a Kingdom Keepers thing has been on their radar for years. Years. Put Jon Favreau on it. Like, done. And like, let's get these kids, and don't make them the traditional Disney Channel stars. Do what like Carmen Cuba did with Stranger Things. Get kids that look like the kids of today. Make some new stars out of these kids, and not, but like,
listen to me.
Get actors with chops.
We're on the same wavelength. We just are. We knew that.
We knew it.
Yeah.
So that's my final Christmas wish for me. So give us the 12th one, Caroline.
Yeah, I'm going to tie up what you just said with a little bow because it's very connected in that I want Disney to make some changes in the way they cast their films. I want Disney to start, number one,
cast me.
I want Disney to start making stars again and start giving people their debuts in these animated films. I thought about it a little, and then I think about Frozen, and that's a voice cast full of very experienced and well-known actors, and it's amazing. But I wanted to go back to the early, like to the Renaissance, when we were just putting in newcomers and theater people and making them stars because they voiced the next Disney princess.
Like, look what they did with Ali Carvalho.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So on that note, when you do that, you automatically make your casting more diverse. Ethnically, I want to see different gender identities represented, not only in the voice talent, but in the characters as well. I want to see, we've talked about this, I want to see different body types. We just need much more diversity in kind of every way, even in, as I started with, in experience. I think that's where the most beautiful things come from. And we're seeing from everything that is happening with Ratatouille on TikTok, in that unknown young people have so many wonderful things to offer and don't always have the platform to offer it. And I think it's time that Disney starts being that.
I love that.
Aw.
That's a really good Christmas wish.
Aw.
All right, so those are our 12 Christmas wishes. I'm going to break the rules and I'm going to add 2 more wishes to this list. But my rule for this is that these 2 wishes are not for myself.
Okay.
So my first Christmas wish is a Christmas wish for Caroline.
Oh my God, why do I feel like I'm about to start crying?
I want Disney to bring
I am going to start crying.
1997 Cinderella to Disney Plus and release the album.
Yes.
That is my Christmas wish for Caroline, especially the album, because the studio album, I don't know if anyone, you probably might not know this, but the album is ready. It is finished. They thought that they were going to release it on the anniversary a couple years ago, and it didn't happen. But it is fully ready. And there was just this awful feud that was happening between Brandy's agency and Whitney's agency, and that's the whole reason why it was never released. But it's ready, and it's there. They just have to hit go on it. So that is my Christmas wish for Caroline. Give her the album and give her Brandy Cinderella remastered on Disney Plus.
Yes.
And then my second bonus Christmas wish is for the world.
Oh,
I know. This is to the Disney company, and this kind of goes along with some of your things. I want Disney to pay their workers, especially those in the parks, more than a living wage. I want them to hire back everyone that they have had to lay off as soon as this pandemic is over. I want those who are working there right now to be paid hazard pay because they are putting their lives and their families' lives on the line to bring magic to people around the world. And I want the people at the top to not take bonuses at the expense of furloughing their employees. I want all of that corrected because that needs to happen. I've said this publicly before, and I got some flack for it, basically being told I'm not a Disney lover. But here's the thing. I would rather a Disney lover say these things about Disney than someone else. I would rather have people who love this company work for change within it. We know that the Disney company, as much as we love it, is deeply flawed, and it is up to us to push to make it better. And
yeah, you don't really love it if you don't want to fix the things that aren't working. I'm so sorry, but that's the truth.
I agree. I agree. So that is my other bonus Christmas wish. I want the people who make the magic happen. I want them to be taken care of because they're the best. And they're irreplaceable. All right. So that's going to do it for us for this Christmas bonus. I hope that we have been able to keep you company and just share a little bit in your holiday traditions, whatever they might be, wherever you might be, with whomever you might be with. We love you. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Happy Hanukkah or any holiday you might be celebrating this year. So from me and Caroline, happy holidays. If you liked what you heard in this bonus episode, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe or follow wherever you're listening to the podcast. It helps us reach new audience members, and it downloads all of the episodes that we have coming, because we might have another bonus episode coming your way, directly to your device.
Please follow along with us on social media. We are at Poor Unfortunate Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and we are at Unfortunate Pod on Twitter. You can also come join us at the Poor Unfortunate Fam, and that is on Facebook. And so that's just a little group where all the listeners of the podcast can come on in, have discussions about Disney and about each episode, take silly BuzzFeed quizzes, scream over Disney news. It's a really warm community. So again, as we're going into the winter months, if you just need a little, companionship, it really feels like a nice group of friends on there, and we would love to have you. And we have a lot of just separate fun activities happening, especially on the Instagram, that, we don't have anything to do with the episodes, but we've been doing some dream casting of potential live action Disney remakes. We've got our own thing going on social media, and so you should definitely check it out.
And as I've said in other episodes, it does take us a little bit of money to make sure that this podcast stays up and running and coming to you. If you have anything that you might be able to spare, I know that you're probably putting all of that money towards your families, but if you've got any spare change, $1, anything that you might be able to give, we do have a PayPal account The link is in the episode description, and it's also on any of our website links on our social media accounts. You can make a monthly donation. You can make a one-time donation. Truly anything will help us. And I totally understand if you aren't able to give something at this time. What you could also do is just make sure to share the podcast or tell someone you love to listen to the podcast. All of that is really helpful and very much appreciated.
Yes, play it for your family when you're all captive inside and make them listen to it, and maybe they'll like it.
Yeah, and if they're a kid, cover their ears when we get to the F words. All right, so that wraps us up.
Merry Christmas, Connor.
Merry Christmas, Caroline. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and
Beluga Savruga.